I am Elmo M. Diaz Jr. and I am the District ALS Coordinator of BAYOMBONG. I have been doing this job for almost 4 years now. The job of being implementer in ALS seems difficult at first, but I learned to love what I am doing, so that makes everything easy. Plus, I have a supportive colleagues which makes working in ALS more fulfilling and easy. Once again, I am Elmo and this is our Ladder to Success story of BAYOMBONG District. Alternative Learning System or ALS is a free education program implemented by the Department of Education. It is a parallel learning system that provides a viable alternative to the existing formal education instruction. This is beneficial to those who cannot afford formal schooling and follows the schedule specific to their needs or situation. In addition, it encompasses both the non-formal and informal sources of learning. Alternative Learning System implements two major programs, namely the non-formal education and informal education. In non-formal education, which include the Basic Literacy Program or BLP and the Continuing Education, which include also the elementary level and the junior high school level. The second one is the informal education, which are short courses for personality development, community development, and entrepreneurship. All these programs are modular and flexible in nature, which means each can take place anytime and place, depending on the convenience and availability of the learners. In our area, we initially set a schedule with the learners, like MWF, DTH, AM, or PM. And their preference is already asked during the enrollment. They can freely choose the time, then once settled, they will be meeting as scheduled. ALS is intended for the members of the society who need basic and functional literacy skills, knowledge, and values. These people are usually located in far-flung communities or areas with no or limited access to formal schools. These are the street children and youth, indigenous people, farmers, fisher folk, women at risk, and other, as you can see on the screen. To anyone who falls on the list, then you are most welcome to enroll in Alternative Learning System and continue pursuing your dreams. Since 2018, we observed a decrease in the enrollment by 20 to 40% until last 2020. However, we observed up to 9% increase in the completers and up to 13% increase in the passing rate of the accreditation and equivalency tests. I just want to highlight that the passing rate increased from 76% in 2018 to 89% in 2019. We are hoping higher passing rate for the next assessment. The learning facilitator, the ALS mobile teacher, made the district ALS coordinator go to a sitio or barangay with functional literacy tests and a set of learning materials to conduct learning sessions until such time that the learners become literate. There are several barangays in BAYOMBONG too. So for efficiency, I and the mobile teacher Sir Eric to have our own community learning center to manage. I am in charge of the learners in Bonfalpalon Central School Community Learning Center, Santa Rosa Elementary School Community Learning Center, and the Torre Elementary School Community Learning Center. And Sir Eric Ligue, the only mobile teacher of the district, is in charge with the learners from Community Learning Center of Kabuuan, Pawak, Masok, and Ipil. Most of the time, instead of the learners going to the Community Learning Center, the learning facilitator or ALS implementer bring the learning materials to the learners to help them acquire basic and functional literacy skills. Alternative learning system programs are delivered in various modes such as modular, face-to-face, radio-based, computer-based, or independent learning. We conduct our learning sessions in the respective community learning center or at any place convenient and accessible to our learners. In some communities, we conduct our teaching and learning sessions in the house of the learners, under the shade of the trees, inside the church or chapel, multipurpose hall, marketplace, rice field, and even beside the river. All learners must pass the accreditation and equivalency test. This is a test designed to measure the competencies of those who have not finished either the formal elementary or junior high school. Until recently, 2019, our learners were assessed through their portfolios. Their portfolios shall contain proof or evidence of learning or mastery of the required learning competencies for ALS K-12. When they receive a passing rate, then they shall be awarded with elementary or a junior high school certificate, which will make them eligible to pursue higher studies. We have been doing several practices in Bayombong too, but today I would like to share best practices for ALS Bayombong entitled A Ladder to Success. Best practice number 1 is strong linkages with the local government unit, stakeholders, and barangay officials and active community involvement. This will ensure the 100% support and assistance of the leaders in the community for all the plans and programs of alternative learning systems. In the last 3 years, we received plenty of support from the LGU, barangay officials, SK officials, and stakeholders. Just recently, we received printers, bond papers, other school supply, which are necessary for the efficient implementation of our programs. We also have active immersion in the community by participating in community activities like the Clean and Green program, Earth Day, Barangay Fiesta, and others. During this time of pandemic, a community pantry was established, and essential goods were provided to the community members. Best practice number 2, linkages with Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or the TESDA and the Department of Social Welfare and Development, the DSW. TESDA has always been very helpful to us, especially on providing free program and trainings to our out-of-school youth, out-of-school adult, and out-of-school children. We appreciate the recognition given to us by the TESDA, and we will always be thankful on the award we received as the Best ALS TESDA Implementer 2020. DSWD has been helping us to map the OSA, OSY, and OSC in our district. These are potential learners of ALS. In addition, some of our learners are members or beneficiaries of PORPIS and IPs. We are always grateful on the appreciation we receive from the DSWD, and we hope for more fruitful partnership with the department. Best practice number 3, the conduct of free skills livelihood training to our ALS learners. This training helps our learners be equipped with lifelong skills that will allow them to improve their quality of life or find a job. In the last 3 years, we have this training conducted. NC2 for bread and pastry, NC2 for food and beverages, the EPAS, the animal or swine production, and cake making. Best practice number 4, home visitation. Indeed, home visitation is a good way of immersion in the community and learn more about our learners. Through this novel act, we can assess the apparent situation of the learners and consequently provide the learning session that fits their needs and situation. Apart from that, home visitation makes them feel valuable and appreciated. This can encourage them to complete their basic education and continue pursuing their dreams. As we always say, it was never late to fulfill your dream with ALS. Best practice number 5, modular approach of teaching. Most of the time, the approach in learning is modular, but we also conduct lectures, especially on those parts that they need better understanding. This pandemic, the smooth distribution of modules was hampered. Nevertheless, we adapt with the current situation and we were able to devise a way of distributing the modules observing safety protocols. We also update and provide feedbacks on the works of our learners through social media such as the use of the group chat, Facebook, and Google. We always print and prepare the sufficient modules for the learners ahead of time. These are provided for free. We thank our stakeholders for the provision of additional supplies, especially during this time of pandemic. Best practice number 6, lectures and encouraging feedback. We also conduct lectures. This is well appreciated by our learners. We use our own language, which is Filipino, as major medium of instruction. We want them to fully understand the lesson and using the language they are comfortable and can surely understand is a must. Best practice number 7, newsletter. One of the unique practices we started last year was the newsletter. It is simply a newspaper type of reporting our achievements in the district. We named it BAYOMBONG Doers. It was a creative and efficient way of conveying to our stakeholders, partners, learners, and parents our accomplishment. The creation of the FB page has been very helpful for announcement and inviting potential learners. Best practice number 8, the online enrollment. We introduced our enrollment form in the online platform and it was very convenient, especially in this time of pandemic wherein our learners are restricted to go out. Enrollment form in Google Forms is shared in our FB page and group chats. Through this mode, we can conveniently view the real-time enrollment status in our district. Best practice number 9, collaboration with the other ALS implementers. From a Chinese proverb, it takes a community to raise a child. In our story, ALS, a ladder to success, we are building bridges or ladder toward the successful life or better life of our learners. We cannot do that alone. That is why the constant kumustahan with our co-ALS implementers was very helpful in sharing and coming up with brilliant ideas so that we can improve our deliveries for the benefit of our learners. Best practice number 10, positive outlook. Aim for the best. Last but not the least, we should always have that positive outlook. The demand of our work or responsibility is huge. It can be too tough sometimes, but if we always learn to look into the brighter side, then we will always have that energy, the drive, the adrenaline to continue and help our ALS learners become the best version of themselves. So here are our best practices in ALS BAYOMBONG team. And I hope this can inspire and help other ALS implementers in their respective district. Let me end by saying, if you have a dream big, then never stop moving forward until you reach that dream. I am Elmo, and in behalf of my ALS mobile teacher, Sir Eric Lige, we will always be here to help you build a ladder to success. Thank you. I am Elmo Magno Diaz Sr., dedicated and happy ALS implementer of the Schools Division of Nueva Vizcaya.